Get started. Gavel, there we go.
Oh, you don't have the gavel.
No gavel, that's okay. We'll figure it out. It's probably the community center.
Oh, that's probably what it is.
Probably over there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's move to number 2 and do the roll call.
District 1, Miguel Armida, absent. District 2, Richard Hughes.
Here.
District 3, David Emery.
Here.
District 4, Michael Rodriguez.
Here.
District 5, Charles Kagan, absent.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you could please stand, and we'll go ahead and do our pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
He's the gentleman for the item.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to number 4. This is
Uh-oh. That's okay.
okay. We'll do the improvised thing. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and go into citizens to be heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the City Council on any issue or any item of the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City Council may not discuss any presented issue nor any action be taken on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169. Do we have anybody that would like to be heard? No, we have nobody signed up, but I still want to go ahead and ask. Going once. Yes, but that's for an agenda item. Yeah, that's for an agenda item. Okay, going once, going twice. All right. Rosario, we'll go ahead and write down no comments provided. And we will go ahead and move on to number 5. Number 5 is a presentation of the service award. This is for Alderman District 5, Charles Kate. Mr. Kate is not here with us, so we will go ahead and try to reschedule and make sure that we can take care of him at the later point. All right, Council, let's go ahead and move on to number 6, consent agenda. Consider approval of payment of the bills, and I think it was in the packet. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at that.
Well, the obvious questions, the TRC WWTP 29%, $56,000. What is that?
That's the wastewater treatment plant design.
Oh, it's a payment on the design out of the certificate of obligation?
Yes.
Okay. And the one right below it, TRC boost pump project at 32%?
Same with that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are all out of the
Good.
So we got 3 different projects that are going on along with our elevated
Correct.
towers. So those are the 3 on there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm going to start out by making a motion to pay the bills as presented.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor for us to go ahead and approve as presented.
I'll second.
Got a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, approved. All yeas. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 7. This is the open section. Take action on items discussed. We'll go ahead and cover A. This is a consideration and possible action concerning an application for variance from required setback to allow for the extension of 2.5 feet of overhang on an existing non-conforming structure located at 63030 Cortez Road. Zach, I'll let you go ahead and talk, and then after that, we have Mr. Pettis that is here also.
Yes, sir. So, Mayor and Council, of course, as the caption indicated, we've had a request from Mr. Perez at 63030 Cortez Road to add to an existing structure about 2.5 feet on each side of an overhang on that existing structure. Pictures were provided for you in the item of what the structure looks like today, and then also what was being proposed, or kind of a sketch drawn by Mr. Perez on that, just to add that 2.5 feet all the way around the structure. The reason it's before you and asking for a variance is it does not currently meet our setbacks, and obviously with the addition onto the structure, that would be even furthering the issue into the setbacks that we require per our single family zoning district. So I'll let Mr. Perez speak to what he's looking to do, and if you have any questions after that, then I'll be happy to answer.
Come on up, Mr. Pettis. You'd like to go ahead and address the council, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, would you like to
Yeah,
address and with your
What I do
variance?
have is a storage shed that was placed in my property around the 1984, 1985.
Okay.
And right now, what I'm trying to do is avoid water going inside the floor. I'm doing a pitch, 2.5 with a 90-degree pitch to avoid some of the water getting in. I know I'm gonna have some water going in anyway, but at least it doesn't go into my shells, which is right now, that's my concern right now. I get a lot of water inside. Even though if I'm not within the 5, one of the areas is not on the 5 feet, but that was, like I said, at that time, there was no limitations on, or no rules, or no permits required at that time. And there's no way I can move it. I'm hoping you can help me out and put, even though if I put that pitch, it's still gonna be inside my property, even though with the pitch. I talked to my neighbor with Mario Andrade, and he's okay with it. And I showed it to Mr. Hughes, and I'm hoping I can get a permit. I don't think I'm hurting nobody by doing that.
Okay. Can we put the picture?
If you could put page 17 on there.
Yep, page 17. Is on
That's the area right there. Like I said, if I do a 90-degree
Is that 17?
coming down, it's not gonna,
Yeah, that's the point.
17 on
that's gonna be
that.
my property.
That was, that
One more,
was on report.
one more. That one. That's a good one. So I have a question on that property, where you have the patio in the back. I see the pitch going down towards the patio. The front door, that's pointing towards your house, right? There's plenty of room on the front door.
There's plenty of
Going
room
forward.
all sides except
No, but without looking at the ordinance, the front door, there's plenty of room going further in your property, right?
Yeah, there's
Right,
plenty.
so I understand that you're trying to divert the water. Well, the way the pitch is and the way your corrugated roofing is, the water's gonna flow down. So to me, it looks like the only thing you need to do and stay within compliance is to just add to the roof in front of that door. That'll keep some of the water from coming straight down into the front of that storage shed.
Another option that if you can help me out. I know, how about if I get a permit to do the front, the side, and the back? And the area that is not within the 5 feet, I can leave it the way it is.
Well, that's the problem, the back and the side. So if you're looking at the picture of the far side on the other side of the storage, that's out of compliance.
But but that compliance was done when?
Yeah, and I can't answer that. I don't know what the answer to that is, but
Like I said,
currently it is.
At that time that I placed that shed there, a toy shed, there was no compliance, which where to put it.
And that's correct. So the way the rules normally work is if it's not in compliance, as long as you don't do anything to it, then you're okay. But as soon as you're gonna go ahead and do something to it, then we need to get the facility or get whatever it is that you're asking for to try to get it into compliance. That way we can kind of help each other out. Molly, am I?
He's a non-conforming use because the setbacks changed. The ordinance, most recent update was 2003, but the code was instituted, some parts of it in 1978. So I don't know what, I'd have to go back in ordinances to see when these setbacks were introduced. But because it's non-conforming, yes, if he alters the structure, he needs a variance in order to do so. In order to grant a variance, you have certain criteria that you can consider, which would be the loss of use without the change, the unreasonable encroachment on adjacent property. There are reasons that allow you to grant a variance if those things are occurring where you're trying to remedy something where it's over closer to a neighbor's yard. In this case, it would be putting it closer to the neighbor's yard if you do a roof extension. Am I correct? It's wanting to extend it off the sides instead of the front.
It's gonna be in the angle,
Oh.
in an angle.
Yeah, it's just going down. It's still staying in the yard, but it's going down. It's just preventing the water to hit the back part of it because everything's getting wet from this side. So he's trying to get a wall or some kind of protection to prevent that water from going in. I mean, I saw it, and to me, I mean, I told him we have to go through council first, but I mean, I didn't see a problem. I'm his neighbor in the back, so it's like, and Mario didn't. I see exactly what he's
So
trying
you're
to do.
talking about the back patio right there, basically on the back side?
If you're looking at the front door, you're looking at the right side.
I'm looking at that picture so we can kind of,
It's between the fence and
No.
the right side.
No, not that picture.
Go back.
Nope.
One more.
No, right there.
He wants to add.
So this fence here is the neighbor's Mario, which is his nephew. So he's trying to go from right under the top, going down like a 90-degree, about 2 feet to prevent water from going into that back open area. Because it's getting everything, all his tools and everything and stuff that he has back there wet.
So based on the overhang that you have now, there doesn't need to be a pitch there. You could just come straight down on a 90-degree angle. I know that's not what you want, but that would still let you stay within your grandfather clause because you're not extending it.
Was being, but like.
I know you want to pitch there, but the pitch will take you out of the grandfather clause, and that's what I'm trying to avoid.
He's saying you can go straight.
Go straight down with the 90, so then you can protect that whole side by just simply coming down.
You want to bring 2.5 feet down?
Yeah,
Straight
yeah,
down?
it comes straight, so your roof is right here. If you would just bring it down at a 90.
But I'm not
you
going by
protect the
the
side.
roof, I'm going by the 2x6 that is about 8 inches inside the roof.
Right, but you're asking to put a pitch on there, and the pitch is gonna make it closer to the fence.
The pitch is gonna come out, if I do a 90-degree, the pitch is gonna come out level with the top section.
And that's fine, because you're still gonna be shielding the side of your property, or the side of your shed.
So as long as you're staying within the roof, right?
Because that's to me, my understanding is, based on what I see, and I can be corrected, currently it's grandfathered in with the dimensions it has now. If he comes straight down and not extended, and he just simply comes straight down on a 90 and extend however far you need to protect the side of that building, I don't think you should be violating the grandfather clause.
My problem, Mr. Rodriguez, is that if I put it straight down, it's not gonna help me any stopping the water coming in.
It should. It should stop it because the water's not going to be able to flow that direction.
so just to make sure that we're saying, so basically you're saying right in here,
Yeah,
Straight down.
right?
Come straight down with the 90.
So it would not extend any further than what it is.
Right, and you
already.
can bring that down as far down as you want.
So straight down from the beam, straight down.
Yeah, the beam, or you could even extend it out to the current edge, but you got to stay within where that edge is. That's your grandfather.
By the edge of the building or by the edge of the roof?
I would say the edge of the roof. You cannot extend beyond the edge of the roof, because the edge of the roof is
The
grandfathered.
roof structure is a different structure than the shed. They're not connected, so I
Right.
would say it'd have to be within the roof structure.
Yeah. That's what he's gonna do.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, he's gonna stay within the roof. He ain't going past that.
But based on what you're saying, if you're gonna allow a 45-degree to come off of that roof, it's gonna extend over into the property.
Correct.
So you can't allow that.
Yeah, well, I think coming
Coming straight down,
is
right.
fine.
So just,
You're not
yes.
extending the structure.
Yes, you're not
That's
extending the
what I was
dimension
saying.
of the roof.
I
It's just
just-
coming straight down.
That's what I say in 90 degree, because 90 degree, it keep me straight up with the roof. It doesn't go over the roof.
Right, but it's gonna come down to where it's gonna protect it, the side of that shed.
No, but
I
I'm
see
saying that is,
Either
if
way,
I do it, instead of doing it straight, can I do it in an angle
You see where he's
that
talking.
I don't
Well, that's what's gonna
go
take you out of
I
compliance.
don't go over the roof line.
Right.
I think if
Yeah.
there's
Okay,
no
go
way,
ahead,
if you
Pat.
came off an angle from that I believe you're going to be within the current 3.5 feet that you're already at. So the only way to do it would be to come straight down. And I would say that would have to be on, if you're going to allow it, it would have to be on this side and the rear, because the rear is also in violation of the
Right.
setback as well.
But he's got the patio back there,
But
so
but
that's
he's
protected.
got plenty of feet in the back.
Yeah, so it's just that one
It
side.
is a required 30-foot setback though, and he's only at 11.5.
Even if I okay,
What?
even if it's me in the back.
Yeah, either way, it's still it would require a variance regardless, but.
Yeah, but you would have to extend the back.
Mm.
I'll sell you the property.
I just send me that at 20 feet.
So Mr. Pettis, what he's trying to say is that as long as you stay within that roof and not go past it,
Okay,
right?
Yes. That would be my
but
recommendation.
that's what I mean. I don't have to do it straight down. I can make it an angle that when it finishes, finish straight with the roof.
As long as that, whatever you come back off of is in direct line with the same dimensions coming from the chain link fence to where the current roof is,
Mhm.
as long as you don't exceed that, I don't see why you would be
Okay, that'll
breaking
be
your
on
grandfather
the,
clause.
that'll be in the last side and the back side.
The backside, yeah, I would think so, but you got the patio back there, I don't see why you need to extend the patio.
But the front, I can put the
The
picture one.
patio, you could do whatever you want.
On the left side, I can
That's
put
your
in
property.
picture one. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, you okay with that on that? I'm gonna do an angle.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure I don't go over the.
Over the existing
Over
overhang.
Yeah, so when you're standing here, when you're gonna be standing on this side, when you're standing right here and you're looking at it, it's not going past that.
It's not gonna pass the roof.
It can't go below, out this way.
I understand that.
It's gotta stay underneath the roof. So if you use the actual beam and then put the angle right there,
Mhm.
as long as the angle does not go past the
Pass
outside.
that roof.
Yes,
Gotcha.
That means you're probably not gonna get the
Problem with that.
45 degree.
But you will get an angle. You should be able to get that.
So in the back, I can go,
You can go wherever you want.
okay, the back, the front, and the side.
Yeah, and then when you
Well, the
clear,
back,
Doesn't make it any more than.
yeah, the
Doesn't
back,
make it more than-
yeah.
Correct.
The back
I
one is
see.
still because it's within the setbacks, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I would encourage you to try to stay on anything that you're already this close to the properties, to stay inside the roof line.
Okay,
Yes.
except the sides where.
yeah, this is
It's
the
not on your property,
main
fine.
side, yeah, that's
So
the
this-
main side.
This
Okay.
side,
That's not gonna, that's gonna complicate my project, but, and what I cannot do.
Unfortunately, yes.
this side of the structure, which is the front, and then the left side. of
The left side, I can
Those are
put
fine.
any
would be
picture one.
fine.
Not this
Correct,
one.
but not that one.
No.
Correct,
The back, I gotta go,
correct.
how far can I go in the back?
Again, it would have to be the same, just like the other, you have to stay within the existing roof structure.
Because we only have 3.5 feet back there.
extension to the roof?
So the roof, this is answering, just to help you out, the roof has to stay
I
fitted.
understand.
Yes.
So anything below that, now I will tell you, they sell some really cool, because I have them, where you bring them down, and actually they're pretty thick, and they'll stop the rain.
Yeah.
They sell them in Home Depot, so you can actually put something on the other side, and then you put the hooks.
He
Okay.
didn't buy that already, he bought everything else.
Okay, that's what I can do. But
Can I make-
appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stand by on that one. Well, yeah,
okay.
because you're a property owner, just to make
Yeah,
sure
that's what I
that
was
the county
saying, can
stays.
I or can I?
Yeah, it's,
So
so,
I want to make a motion to deny a variance to the non-conforming property located at 63030 Cortez Road.
Okay, and we'll explain that here, hold on.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have motion and a second for us to deny. Discussion. So the discussion portion of it is where the denial is basically he would still be able to do what we talked about with the denial of the variance, okay?
Okay.
So you could still do the stuff.
As long as you don't exceed the curb.
I understand. I'll make sure that happens. When can I get a permit?
Come in this week and we'll work with Rosario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep
Thank you all.
it.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
okay, hold on, we'll be able to do it. Any further discussion, any other questions for Mr. Pettis or Zach? Okay, all those in favor for the denial of the variance?
Aye.
And recommend that he abstain.
And we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, you need to abstain because of your property owner, right next door. That's okay.
Stay out of it.
So we have two. Ellie, you need me to go ahead? We got the two. We're good.
Majority of those
Okay.
present and voting.
So let's go ahead and annotate on there, Richard abstaining, okay?
See?
And we go ahead and take care of that. All right? You're good to go.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, council, thank you so much. Thank you for the ideas. We appreciate it. And I know it's a touchy subject, but at the same time, we can help in different ways and be able to take care of the stuff.
Got there.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at B now. Discussion, update, and possible action concerning the creation of the Stormwater Utility Fund for the City of Lytle.
All right, so Mayor and Council, Matthew Garrett with NewGen is here as part of this project to update y'all. Unfortunately, Kate broke her, was it hand? Her arm, so she was unable to make it. I do have her on team, so she can interject as need be. But Deanna is also here as backup with Kimley Horn as well. So for any questions or anything like that, but I'll really turn it over to Matthew and let y'all get an update to where we're at, and hopefully we can start moving forward with some decision points on the stormwater utility. So.
Awesome.
Thank you, Zach. Good evening, Mayor and Alderman. Pleasure to be back. Matthew Garrett with NewGen Strategies and Solutions. Kate, hope you're feeling well. Sorry you couldn't be here. And we do have a presentation loaded. I'll just step through that. But what we're really coming to you tonight is to get some direction. There are a few important steps in the adoption of a stormwater utility laid out through Local Government Code 552, Subchapter C. Inasmuch as those steps require public hearings, we'll probably need your feedback to initiate those. Additionally, before we go out, that ordinance should be drafted, probably needs to be published with both of those public hearings. So we kind of need some decision-making going into the potential adoption or creation of a stormwater utility. Two parts, again, you can create a stormwater utility without having a fee, right? There are two ordinances that have to be adopted. One is recognizing this is a utility to be established as an enterprise fund. It only really makes sense if you plan to adopt a fee, I'll admit, but it can be done separately. So with that, we'll just step through a little bit of an update, both for those that haven't seen this before, but also for yourself. I know you have other agenda items. So really the crux of tonight is on this next slide. Shall I click?
You can go down.
Down. This is fancier than ones I use. Fantastic. Like I could turn on my TV with this. This is great. So basically, we'll cover a little background and basics, but what I'd like to hear from you and what staff needs to hear from you is your desire for the public communication strategy, right? Because just as we're relaying the background of this, the basics, the statutory ability for your community to do this, we'll need to communicate this to your residents. They're going to need to know the why, the how, and that you're doing so in compliance with state statute. Second, the revenue potential. I want to go over that with you. We have talked about that once before. There are discretionary exemptions. We have assumed all of the state mandated exemptions are not going to be included. You'll see a list of the various property types, and the only exemption we've assumed today is that you're not going to charge yourself. So all of my other revenue figures say we are not going to exempt other certain discretionary exemptions. We need your feedback on that. Service level, of course, this is funding something. We spent a fair amount of time talking about what this could and couldn't do for you as a community. Right? We talked about the staffing, we talked about the trucks, certainly the major capital, you'll see that again. And then next steps, again, kind of echoing, but we would like some more clear direction on the public hearing process, when you'd like that to kick off, how you want that to integrate with the budget process this fiscal year potentially, and yeah. So with the preview, we'll ask these same questions again at the end, but please stop me as we go through. Again, a stormwater utility is a user fee-based funding mechanism. It is not a property tax. It is not like a property tax because it doesn't use a property value as a basis. It uses the potential runoff to benefited properties. Those are the people within your city limits who have drainage that hit your system, which whether or not you're funding much of it, you're maintaining in your roadways, in your ditches, and anywhere else that it flows, right? It is authorized by that chapter I've already referenced. It's certainly not new. Over 100 municipalities already have this today. So how it works, in utility billing, it's based on an inventory of lots and tracts within the city. The team at Kimley Horn has already produced that, and we'll show you more about that. It does need to be equitable, right? You have to charge in a similar manner to similar customer types. Barring the discretionary exemptions, everyone should pay a bill, right? Lastly, we have recommended that you have a flat rate for all residential customers. The maintenance effort on determining, even the prior agenda item, a gentleman had an accessory dwelling unit. If we were to extend that roof line and remeasure, is it really worth the 30 extra feet that he may add to the roof line? And so we find that generalizing all your homes as one rate is the simplest and the standard across the state of Texas. Some do it property by property. Some have tiers. We're thinking as you get this started, simpler is better. So we've recommended a single rate for all residents, and then that same rate would be applied to commercial or non-residential customer types in an equivalent manner. And so we'll show what that looks like here next. The current billing units, right now you have 1,012 single-family residential properties. So you'll see that's the number of ERUs. That's our equivalent residential unit factor. That's how we determine what we're charging as equitable. So when we get down to non-single-family residential, that's going to be your multifamily apartments. They're going to be billed on a square foot basis, not per unit, because you can stack 6 apartments under one roof. And so it's a lot more fair to charge them for their true impervious cover, roof line, concrete driveway, etc. So we found that to be the standard. City of Lida, we found 15 properties. That's about 100 ERUs worth, but we have, with staff and based on other utilities, assumed that you're going to exempt yourself. The school has 339 approximately ERUs worth of impervious area, and religious institutions have about 81 equivalent residential units. So you'll note the city, the school, and religious institutions are all potential discretionary exemptions. And the way that we've determined what each of those ERUs is we took the impervious square foot by type and divided by 3,200. 3,200, of course, is the ERU on average or median, actually, technically, for your single-family residential properties. Any questions on the analysis? I have to give credit to Kimley Horn for putting this together, but
Definition of impervious?
impervious, so there are a couple ways to define it, but very generally speaking, it's going to be compacted earth, concrete, roof lines, anything that won't absorb water. And I'd have to turn it over to someone with a degree in this to say at what frequency and what time.
So on businesses, that would include the parking lots?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
There are some low-impact development standards, some nifty things I know y'all could put into your ordinances in the future to allow for impervious concrete, some other fancy things I've seen. I just can't speak to the material types offhand. So there's an opportunity to have less impervious. So when we put that all together, I did take 20% off. There's a fair amount of uncertainty yet. We have not gone through with your billing data and tried to match up all of the parcel data maintained by the appraisal district with your billing data. And I know from painful personal experience that those don't always equal. And so we went ahead and took 20% off the top, just as a cushion before we gave you these revenue figures. So you'll see a small variance, a 20% variance between the prior slide and this. But at $3 per ERU, if adopted, we think that'll yield about $81,000 per year. At the highest we're showing you is 9, is about $242,000 per year.
So $3 or $9, is that a monthly fee? Or
Yes, sir. This would be the monthly cost per ERU. So that's the monthly delta to the resident, and then that times effectively the ERUs of each of the various customers, commercial customers. So their bill could be, I didn't do the math on it, but let's say a Dollar General is 5 times. So at $3, it'd be 15. At 9, it'd be 45 a month.
So if we would go, just quick math, if we'd go look at a general house, what would that annual cost be on a $5?
So $60.
$60. So straight 5 based on, okay,
Yeah,
That's with
residential
the
flat fee.
3,200. That's with the 3,200.
So that's assuming a flat fee for all residents.
Right.
Right, so we took that as our baseline through a sampling of your residential properties. Generally, those categorized as an A1 on the appraisal district state code. That then becomes the baseline for everybody. Instead of trying to differentiate your house from his house, and if you've got a porch and you don't, it's probably penny wise and pound foolish. It's harder to maintain, and as you see, you have quite a bit of residential. So it's much simpler to assume as a class they'll all pay the single $5 per home rate.
got it.
And also
Or-
the driveway, whether it's gravel, asphalt, or
Yes, sir.
concrete, by setting that minimum, you can pretty much cover the whole area.
Absolutely.
The majority of the citizens.
Right, and it,
Okay.
additionally, and lastly, I'll say about that set fee, I generally assume, for instance, if you had, it's like an ice shack in the middle of a Walmart parking lot. It takes up very small, it may have been subdivided, and it's its own little tiny business. But I would say the minimum they would pay is whatever your residents pay. Because you could have a tiny home in town. I don't know if you're doing that yet, but you could have a very small home, and they're going to pay the full cost per that one ERU. So that'd be the one caveat to non-residential is that it's their ERU or the minimum like our residents are paying. So this is the revenue potential. So the real question is, we know what we could achieve through this utility. If you want to adopt this utility and have it help fund stormwater-related projects, what service levels do we want and what capital projects are most needed? So with your feedback in a prior council or a prior session, additionally with staff feedback, we've assembled this list. So the Lakeshore project, it's approximately $1 million. Debt funded, that's approximately $80,000 in the annual principal and interest or debt service on that. Existing drainage operations, we did identify $60,000 in the current budget. And so if this were to become a utility, it could carry its own weight as it's currently being picked up in the general fund. The addition of one stormwater employee and a couple other items you'll see without reading the whole slide to you are desired. The potential to fund that, however, is limited by the revenue that you've set. Of course, you're not limited to the drainage fee. You could always augment with your property taxes, sales taxes, or any other stream of revenue you may have.
Can you go back a little bit
Yeah.
to that previous
Yes, sir.
slide and elaborate more? I know you didn't want to go into that, but
No, sure, glad to.
if you could explain the truck, the drop trailer, the skid. So this would be capital that needs to be available at all times by the city?
So the operational set point, I'll have to defer to staff, but presumably the stormwater employee would be fully funded from here. We had made mention of the truck and drop deck trailer, all other items really could have multiple purposes, so it could be shared between funds.
Right, but so based on your slide, that's saying if that was capital that was required.
It's a one-time
Yes.
purchase for those
Okay.
equipment type
Oh,
items.
Okay.
You're not saying we're gonna go out and get a generator every single year, you're paying for it.
Right.
You know?
No, and I know that's why you wanted to kind of go over this slide quickly, but I just wanted to make sure that was the understanding.
no, that's a very important note, and it becomes more apparent even on this next slide because I skip over one of these one-year items. So you'll see at a $5 rate, you get $140,000 of first-year expense. That's all I can achieve because that's all the revenue potential we have at $5. With the $7 drainage fee, I skip over the truck in year one, not because we won't fund it in year two technically, but because we can't do it all in year one. So I'd have to actually bump this schedule down and everything else would slide. So you'll see that the trailer is marked as a green check, but of course, if we needed the truck more, we would fund it and not the trailer in year two. So I could have made a longer list of what we would really do. But effectively, you'll see the $7 drainage fee buys you another set of equipment items, and at the $9 drainage fee, you can fund everything on this list over time. Notably, the engineering master plan is something that wouldn't happen immediately or overnight. It's assumed that that would come after you've funded all these items in years 2, 3, and 4, or you may purpose to, at the price point, go for some short-term debt to allow for that study.
Yeah, based on your table, you're insinuating that the ROI on this Like for instance, the $9 drainage fee would be that 1 year. You could pay off everything in that 1 year.
Well, that's why I indicated with the year on the
Right.
left, just so we didn't have any false pretense that you could achieve all of it. But absolutely, it opens up additional revenue each subsequent year.
Right,
You
so
don't-
your ROI could be 1 year, and then from then on, you could start doing improvements.
Right, until the replacements on these items, which may be 7 to 10 years, depending on how well you maintain them, come due again.
So
Yes, sir.
that's important to note.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure. It's a great question. Anything else on this slide?
Council? Nope.
Okay, very good. So again, back to these decision points. I guess clearly I can't speak for staff, but do we want to keep moving forward? If so, what do we do about our communication strategy to the public? Our firm could help with that. Of course, we've done it a few places. On these exemptions, I can go back to that slide to help that discussion if that would help you. Right now, we've assumed only exempting ourselves. This principally then as a utility, and so we're charging everyone else.
I would ask, obviously you have some experience here.
Yes, sir.
Do other towns opt to exempt religious organizations?
It's a mixed bag. More often than not, those that exempt will start by exempting the school district, and they will often do so over time. So for instance, if a school district has, is it biannual, every 2 years they're budgeting? So they run on a 2-year budget cycle. So to aid in that and to be a good partner, they may exempt 50% of it in the first year, right? Or they may give them the first year off 50% and then to full till. Other communities have taken a everyone that can be exempt will be approach. I don't recommend that because you're kind of cutting yourself short here in Lytle if you do so. But that, of course, is your others. What's notable about religious organizations, nonprofits in general, and your ISC is they're not helping on the property tax side. And I'm certainly not punishing them for that, but this utility is something that does benefit them. Just like they're probably paying a water bill, they could also pay a drainage bill. So that's my 2 cents I give every council or decision-making body. That is a distinction in the fee versus the other option to fund this through taxes.
So you need the decisions basically today? That's what you're looking for out of here?
I'd certainly like
Be able to do
direction, and
that?
I'll defer to staff on what they'd like you to achieve tonight specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I think, so, Mayor and Council, we've kind of gotten to a point where, you know, unless there's additional items you want us to explore pricing for, but we've kind of took your advice last time that we spoke about this, kind of built out as close as possible to where I think we need to go. Obviously, we have the Lakeshore project, and there was discussion of the master plan for the whole community. So from a staff level, we kind of feel like we're at where we can go with this. So we really need to figure out, you know, again, if we're still wanting to move down this route, you know, these are the potential numbers. We obviously know the public hearing requirements that are going to be required. Ideally, we would be implementing this by the time, you know, October 1 rolls around. So that way it's hitting, you know, we're making the decision, and it's, you know, we can budget it appropriately in the upcoming budget discussions. So we're just trying to look for, you know, kind of where we go from here. And at this point, staff kind of feels like it's on council to start, you know, kind of coming to some final decisions on some of that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be tonight, but I definitely need the feedback so that I can get back to the team and tell them.
And if we decide to go with the $7 rate
Mhm.
this year, we could change it.
Can you go to the decision?
We can make that decision.
Yeah,
next
so
year.
it's like any so it's treated like any utility, right? So at, you know, just like for water and sewer rates, you know, that come before you, you can choose to increase those or decrease those.
Yeah.
Obviously, normally you're increasing them just because of the way it is. But yes, I mean, at any point you can technically go down with it.
Yeah, we're a bit of a conundrum here in the city. You know, people, we're not a big major high employment city, but people also complain every time there's water standing on the road.
Sure.
So, you know, do they help pay for it, or do they grumble about it?
And the biggest thing with our drainage is the maintenance. You know, you need the equipment to be able to get where we need to do. Plus, we need those other things. So is there a set order to follow when you're actually doing this? Or is there, I mean, because to me, and I want to hear from the public. That would be important for me. You know, I would love to be able to say this exemption or that, but I would rather hear from the public first. I think we all want to hear from the public first. So could we do that first and get inputs for consideration first, or is there certain things that we should do before we get to that?
So I couldn't speak, maybe your legal counsel could tell you, but I see no reason this couldn't be a public hearing without being the local government code required public hearing. If you wanted to make this utility and you felt pretty confident, we're going to do a utility, you could go ahead and go through the public hearing process so that if you've heard from the public after those two, after the public hearings relative to this, you could go ahead and adopt it. I don't know if there's any precedent or legal requirement for this, but just like in your tax setting, if you thought you may go to 9, I would publish it as if it's 9 and get their feedback. At least that way you publish the higher number and you can come down. If you have 7's your lid and that's your max, I'd publish that and then get their feedback through the public hearing process. The question isn't should we pay, it's how do we pay. And if the fundamental truth is you need to do something about drainage, it's going to be borne by someone somehow. And the real question maybe for you as a council is this the mechanism that's the most appropriate? Is the nexus around the fee the closest on this? And do this in enough cities? I think it is. It's the one thing that actually ties to the drainage impact potentially. So I think you could do it through the normal process and follow all the routines required by the statute, or presumably you could have this as a special item or workshop for your residents should they want to show.
Let me ask both of you a question here. We're already paying you to help put all the stuff together, right?
Yes, sir.
Would, number one, be included in what we've already paid you, or would we get another bill for that?
Depends the extent of the public communication strategy. We're helping quite a bit, and we're glad to do so. We've done it enough places. I'm a former finance director, so I will constantly plagiarize cities because they don't have any, so we'll go look at the FAQs we just did and the open Seguin. I worked with them last year, so there's tons of great info out there. I think I've shared Seguin's website. Someone on your staff even knows the PR person over there. So
The other part of my question would be to Zach.
Yeah.
Do you need him to do this? Can you do it?
Yeah, I
Do
think.
you want to work together?
Yeah, I think it could be probably a combination. Obviously, they've provided us a lot of tools and we can pull a lot of that together. I think where I think y'all probably are going, and if I'm recognizing that, is probably doing some sort of like town hall, almost like, feature first, getting some additional, kind of feedback on where we're going, and then making that final decision and going through the required public hearing process that we're going to have to do anyway.
I can see you advising him, saying, get this out, do that, publish that.
Yeah.
Would that be something you all would be willing to do together? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, the mayor's suggestion of getting the public's opinion first, and at least that way we have a direction of where to go. Molly, who makes the decision? Is the council setting the price? Does the public set the price?
The council would decide the rate. It would be a creation of a utility, and you would be board of utility, just like for water, so you would set the rates. You would have criteria, obviously, legal criteria that you have to go through with the public hearings. So you would need to have an idea in the ordinance that you're presenting to the public at the public hearing of the rate you're considering. Like you said, if you're considering it kind of like we're considering the $7 rate, we may go 9, we may go 5, we want to hear from the public. If you want to do all that before the public hearings, I would recommend a town hall setting to where you can get feedback before you go into it. Because when you get into the public hearings and publication, in order to pass the ordinance, you need to be pretty definite on where you're at.
Yes.
By that point.
So council, can I get a motion for us to be able to go into a town hall meeting?
Yeah,
That
I mean,
would
I
be-
think just, I would just need that direction, and then we can work with y'all and the public on what that date looks
All
like.
right, let me ask in the motion, do we need to ask that you move ahead and publicize this at a $9 rate? Do we need to say that now?
Well, you can set a public
town
meeting,
hall,
a
yeah.
town hall meeting notification, just like you would any 72-hour notice.
Mm.
You can probably publish it in the paper 2 weeks out if you'd like to do it that way. I would recommend that somebody be present that can give this presentation to the citizens, just like you just received it. And that way, they can also answer questions that council may not be able to answer, or staff may not be able to answer. That way, obviously, if they do help facilitate at town hall meetings, the most information is received and benefit out of that, instead of, well, we'll have to come back and answer that question later. So, yeah, you can publicize the town hall meeting, you can take feedback of this, and then you can go from there, with your rates. Like, you don't have to publish a rate for the town hall meeting.
And what I was going to say is I think it would be a combination of these slides, but also more of the other slides we used last time to kind of reintroduce the idea to y'all so they fully understand, the public fully understands what we're getting and why we're doing this in the first place. So.
And also the capital projects you hope to use to fund it, and the reasons that, Lake Shore.
Well, I can make that motion. Mayor, I move that we direct our city administrator to work with our contractor here to proceed with all steps necessary to build a public communication strategy for our water fund initiative.
Okay. With the town hall.
Yes. For the town, yes.
Okay, got a motion on the floor?
I'll second that, Mayor.
You got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you, Kate.
On to the work, take care of it. We really appreciate all that insight. Very important subject for our community as we try to figure out, especially with some of the areas that need a little bit more attention. So we're going to need to be able to maintain and take care of them. So thank you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to C, discussion and possible action concerning the purchase of 2 police vehicles from Caldwell Country Chevrolet.
All right, Mayor and Council. So I kind of rephrased it not as a lease purchase.
Thank you.
Thank you all. On this particular item, just because of the way that it really is not a lease purchase per se. But y'all wanted us to come back with some more detail on the options that were presented. So Ms. Hester, our finance director, did reach out to Lauderdale State Bank. Unfortunately, the interest rate after reaching out has gone up again. So it was 3 something last time, and I can get you the exact numbers, but now it's 4.5 on those. However, we did have a third option given, which was 2-term payments instead of 3 and 4. And so that obviously lessens the amount. And then obviously, as we presented last time, the option of paying out of excess revenues, we've been looking at the sales tax numbers and our franchise fees that are coming in, and we are already projecting, above budget enough to cover this. My only caveat would be that in looking at, and I'll have an update on another item obviously later, just looking at where we're at with some infrastructure items, I think based on the fact that we can still get to May to make our first payment, and if we decide at that time to go ahead and pay all the 167, we should have the money to do that or enter into the terms. That way it gives us a little more flexibility, but we're just looking for direction on how y'all would like to do it. I just think freeing up some money for some potential infrastructure issues that we know are kind of on the horizon. And again, I can explain some of that later on, but yeah. So
What
that's
May
kind of
are
where
you
we're at.
talking about, next month or a year from now?
Of next year. So May 1st of 2025 would be when the first payment on either of the options, whether it's 2 payments, 3 payments, or 4 payments.
There's no penalty for.
There's no early payoff penalty. There's no, we wouldn't be charged the interest if we get to May and we go, hey, we're still flush with some cash and we can pay the 167.
Okay, so that was one of the
That's-
questions that we asked, so,
Then we can pay able to pay that.
and it would not incur the additional
That's
interest
correct.
costs.
That's correct. So.
So, do I hear correctly that option 3 would be maybe preferable at this point?
I think from staff's perspective, obviously 3 is only 2 payments. It's the less interest amount. So, saying with Lauderdale State Bank, so we don't close that option off as saying, hey, Lauderdale State Bank, this is what we'll do. And then again, we'll bring it to you with enough time at the beginning of next calendar year, where you can make the final decision, hey, this is where we're at numbers wise. Do you want to just go ahead and make a full payment, or do you want to continue with the payment plan?
So if we have the cash now, and we don't have the payment until May 25.
Correct.
So it should be more cash,
Hopefully.
and then we're at a decision point then.
We're seeing, as for obvious reasons, we're seeing property tax numbers come in higher. You know, I mean, as the residential development keeps going, we're seeing sales tax numbers increase, which is all great. So, you know, we'll continue to monitor those, and especially as we get into budget. But we do anticipate having still some excess revenue at the end of next year, where we can do that if council so chooses at that time.
Can I have Lynette shake her head that she agrees with us doing that?
However, the part we're missing out is the fact that if we do option 3, the amount of interest between now and May that we have to pay. Do we know what that is?
So, well, we would be locking ourselves into the 4.54 interest rate and the payments, but we wouldn't have to make a payment on that.
Let's see, but that 11,000 is for the total 2 payments. So I would think about at least 5,000 or 6,000 that's going to be owed in addition to the principal. So by waiting till next May, we're going to have to pay that additional 5 to 7.
Unless at that time, and again, my hope is that we take it back to y'all and we have still excess revenues at that time, and we're just pushing the can down the road a little bit.
I still want to pay it off, option 4, or whatever the original option was. That would be my recommendation.
I'm not sure I heard correctly. If we take option 3,
Yes,
we have no payment until the 1st of May of 25.
yes,
If we decide to pay it off at the first payment,
correct.
do we still owe interest from now to then?
No, sir. You're still only paying the 167,188.
You are not going to accrue interest
No,
between
sir.
now. Wow, can I get a card like that? Can I go over there and purchase a card like that?
You'd have to talk to Lytle State Bank about that one.
So that is in the contract. We will not have
Yes.
That's
any
what we
interest
asked.
between now and May of next year.
That was the question we specifically asked. Lynette, I mean, you're the one that
Yes,
said
Okay, if that's understood, then I'll go with option 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
That's
that's
fine.
got to be understood.
I understand it, and that is our understanding from Lytle State Bank.
Okay, I think that's great that they're willing to do that with us. That's great.
Who's going to sign that contract?
We will bring back an agreement to council, and the mayor will
Okay.
sign it.
Good. We'll look for that wording in the agreement.
Yes, sir.
But I need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mayor, that we adopt option 3 as outlined in this agenda item.
Got a motion for us to go ahead and adopt option 3 as presented. You have a second? Okay, any further discussion?
With the understanding that there's going to be any interest between now and the first due payment when it's due.
Well, we'll get a chance to look at the contract before
Yes.
we give
I
it to the
I
mayor.
just want to make sure, I want
Yes.
to keep saying it over and over again.
Don't sign it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all yeas. Okay, thank you, council, appreciate it. Okay, D, discussion and possible action concerning appointment of members of the Mobile Home Commission.
All right, so Mayor and Council, of course, as discussed last meeting, we do need to appoint new members so that we can actually have a meeting and get a quorum. Lynn Anderson and Samantha Sanchez are the current members from District 1 and District 3 respectively. And we obviously asked Council to come forth with additional recommendations. Mario Andrade was District 2's recommendation, and Roy Garza from District 4 was Mr. Rodriguez's recommendation. District 5, I did hear from Mr. Cate, or Alderman Cate, but he did ask that we wait to allow Mr. Martinez an opportunity to appoint somebody. Obviously, with the 4, as long as we can get all 4 there, or even 3, we would have a quorum so we can move forward with those if you will go ahead and appoint those 2 tonight. So.
Do you have a motion for us?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Mario Andrade from District 2 and Roy Garza, District 4 to the Mobile Home Commission.
Okay, got a motion on the floor?
I'll second.
Got a second? Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. Motion carries forward.
And we are getting that list for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and take care of E, consideration and possible action concerning adoption, resolution number 24-16, the resolution City Council, City of Lytle, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of a contract by and between the City of Lytle, Texas and
Flambeau.
Flambeau, just like it is, okay? Flambeau for the fireworks display during the City of Lytle Independence Day event, providing incorporation of preamble and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such contract and providing an effective date. Zach.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we normally go with pyrorific fireworks, and we will still be going with pyrorific, but for insurance purposes, because there's an issue with some of their licensing and insurance, they are working with a group out of North Texas, and they've done this in the past to hold their insurance under, but it will still be the same people that are ultimately firing off for the event. And so the contract is before you for consideration, so we can get that squared away and they can get ordering everything that is necessary.
So Flambeau is actually purchasing.
Yeah, it's under their insurance, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start by making that motion to adopt the resolution 24-16. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Lido, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of contract by and between the City of Lido, Texas and Flambeau for a fireworks display during the City of Lido Independence Day event, providing incorporation of preamble, authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate such contract and provide an effective date of today, which is April 22nd, 2024.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay.
Yes.
We do have a copy of their insurance prior to seeing.
We will,
We
yes.
have a copy of
Yes.
their insurance.
Yes.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
So I got a motion, a second one. Now discussion. I do want to bring up, I noticed on there that it said 14,000.
Yeah, so the contract shows 14. I know you and I have had this conversation about 20,000. We can cover the 20, and I communicated that to them. They just didn't get me the contract in time to
I
reflect
just want to
that.
make sure the council's aware. That's what we paid last year. It's been, so it's nothing different. Now, we do get a sub assistance
Yep.
from Waste Management. That's one of the things that they actually help us out with.
Yep.
So just so you know.
April first?
There's a portion that we do receive from Waste Management.
So,
I was wondering about the time period, the number of minutes. Is that just a window?
yeah, it's pretty much a set. I'm trying to remember at the top of my head, but there is a set. There's an actual window based on the.
How fast they explode and the wind conditions and so forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
they
We
do
have
all that.
the track that plays.
But I
Yeah.
think what we had last year was perfect. It wasn't too short. It wasn't too long. We got a lot of feedback. People enjoyed it.
15 to 20 minutes.
So it's worked out really good, right, Richie? I know you get a lot of feedback.
Yeah,
So-
it's longer than most people expect, which makes them think it's really great. And I mean, I think it's great. Whatever we did last year, we can
Yeah.
do that.
So we're not going to increase or anything. We just want to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And be able to work within. But I just wanted to make sure for clarification based on what you see on there
Yes.
that it is a different amount that we.
I made a note of it, but I didn't say it, so thank you, Mayor.
We need to change the motion to affect a variance in the price?
Well,
Because the contract
yes,
says
because
14.
it's attached as Exhibit A, so just make the notation that it would be up to 20,000.
I need an amendment.
For the amount up to 20,000.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second that. Okay. So we can go ahead and do that. All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Yeas carried forward. Thank you, council. Appreciate it.
Thanks, David, for looking into that.
Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. We're doing good. F, discussion and possible action concerning AEP Texas submission of a amendment to their temporary emergency electric energy facility rider. Zach?
All right, so Mayor and Council, as the data sheet indicates, on April 1st or about that week, AEP did submit to the Public Utility Commission a what's called a TEEF rider. Hopefully I got enough E's in there. But basically, they're looking to amend their existing rider that's already been filed with the Public Utility Commission for an additional revenue. And so I got contacted by Lloyd Gosling, who's the attorney that we've used before on utility matters, just like the rate case that they filed, and this is separate of that rate case that's still pending. There are several cities that are starting to jump on board for having Lloyd Gosling review the amendment, and obviously they just wanted to reach out and see if we wanted to do the same. Any costs associated, just like under the rate case, are reimbursable, so there is really no cost to us at the end of the day for that. So just really need direction so I can communicate that to Lloyd Gosling. So.
So if we approve this, I'm reading the second paragraph here in your background. Customers using 1,000 kilowatt hours of electricity, I guess it's per month, right?
Yeah.
It's going to cost them an additional $1.41 a month.
Yeah. So if the amendment goes through in its current as it is currently filed with the Public Utility Commission, then that would be an additional $1.41 as indicated for those residents, and that would kick in September 1st, 2024. Obviously, if Lloyd Gosling reviews it and there's any issues or they find things that can be eliminated, then that cost would go down. I think either way, there's going to be an increase. It's just a matter of how much that increase is.
Well, let me just ask for clarification here.
Sure.
The way it's written, approximately $1.41, an increase of 45 cents over existing rates.
Correct.
So the $1.41 is 45 cents higher than it is right now.
Yes, that's correct. But again, I think regardless, there will be an increase based on the rider. It's just a matter of this, based on the amendment filed, the increase is obviously more because they're asking for an additional 22 million and some change under this amendment.
Yeah.
So I don't think it hurts for us to, if you're looking for, staff's opinion on the matter or my opinion on the matter, I don't think it hurts for us to have Lloyd Gosling review it. This is what they do. And if we save our residents in the end because of that, because they've looked at it and they can find ways to, cut some of that, then that would be great. But again, regardless, there will be some sort of increase.
So would that necessitate us tabling this tonight?
No, I just need direction from y'all. So if you want to authorize me to reach out to Lloyd Gosling to do so, that's what I would be looking for.
All right.
Or if you want to just let it ride. So
No, I'll make a motion that we authorize city administrator to reach out to Attorney Lloyd Gosling, Rochelle, and Townsend, PC, for advice and further direction on how to proceed with the request from AEP.
Okay, got a motion on the floor for us to go ahead and reach out to the attorneys?
And then provide feedback.
Yes.
correct.
Council.
Correct.
Actually, come back with a resolution.
Yes.
From Lloyd Gosling, telling him to go to. and-
Yes.
Thank you, Molly. You have a second?
Yeah, I'll go in a second.
You got a second? Okay, thank you. Discussion, just so you know, it doesn't matter the amount of citizens, I think we're concerned, but just for clarification, AP customers are more on 132 on the coal mine, that section. It's a part of Lidl. The majority of our electric is out of CPS Energy, but there are residents. We are part of one. We want to make sure. So I think the motion that the council has put forward, for having the legal to go take a look at it, that'd be a good thing, and then we can take it from there. Okay? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. Thank you so much, council, appreciate that. Zach, thank you for the clarification, that helped out. We'll be able to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to G, discussion and update concerning well number 2.
All right, so Mayor and Council and Robbie, if you want to jump in at any point, you can. But we have officially scheduled UWR out of Divine to come as a well contractor to come out to well 2 starting the week of April 29th. So next week, they'll be jetting the well. And then shortly after that, either late that week or into Monday and Tuesday of the following week, Edwards will be out to actually camera it so we can see where any breach or anything might be happening, and just get a better picture of what's going on. So UWR will be actually removing the motor and the pump from the casing, and then, like I said, jetting the pipe, for lack of a better word.
What does the jetting
out.
do?
We're jetting out certain material that's been found, and trying to determine if, so they can, when they bring the camera down, it's
Residue based.
correct, and the camera can actually see clearly enough to
See
make a
the walls.
determination.
We
Yeah,
want to see if anything has been compromised on the walls. Is that correct? Yeah. So we want to inspect the walls, be able to go down and have a clear indication. I want to give credit to the Edwards Aquifer folks because that portion of it, they're saving us a lot of money by going in there. But we have to do our portion, and that's and Robbie did a great job working with the folks in Divine to go ahead. And it's Divine, right? Yes. So out of Divine to be able to help us out so we could go ahead and extract and do the prep work in order for them to be able to go down with a camera and get it evaluated. So this is a good thing.
Yep.
Overall.
yeah, and the cost, just so council's aware, the cost of UWR coming in is all covered under our maintenance, budget for that. So we're covered there, and again, it helps that, to the mayor's point, that we're saving costs on the camera portion, because that was going to be another 20 to 25, I think. So.
So we should have, for the next council meeting, we should have an update.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully by then. If they're looking at the end of next week,
Yep.
beginning of the following week.
Yeah.
So we should be pretty close and getting an understanding and see what's going on with well number 2.
And then we'll be able to make some decisions
Yes.
based on that. So.
Try to figure out. But council, we always promised you that we would keep you up to speed with where we're at and everything. I want to give kudos to Zach and Robbie working all this and trying to figure out and getting the right people involved just to make sure that everything was taken into consideration. So thank you so much for doing that. Do you have any questions for them? Anything? Okay. Thank you so much. Look forward to the next update that goes along with that. Okay, H, consideration and possible action concerning proposed fiscal year 2024-2025 budget calendar.
All right, so Mayor and Council, I put together a draft calendar for y'all to consider in speaking with the mayor and with Lynette and how things have been done in the past. Obviously, this is my first experience with y'all as a body and going through budget season. So we tried to lay that out, and obviously also give you kind of where the dates that we're required to have certain things, especially as we get later into the year, into the summer. So this is just presented as a draft to make sure we're all on the same page. Obviously, some of those budget workshops we can move around or whatnot. I tried to keep things, it seems like y'all generally are okay with Thursdays, so most of them tried to go on Thursdays. There's some dates that I knew I was maybe going to be out or Lynette was going to be out, so we kind of moved it around a little bit to accommodate, but just wanted to present that. So obviously wanted to get feedback from y'all on what that looks like. So.
I don't have a problem with the meeting dates.
Any concerns?
May 22nd, I have a kid graduating this year. And, okay. So I'm not sure about May 22nd, if there's anything on the schedule for that.
Yeah, my son's graduating from college that day.
The 22nd?
Yeah.
What day, that's a Thursday, May
I
22nd?
believe
That's a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday. There was some reason, I think the 23rd for myself wouldn't work. But if we need to move at the beginning of the week, that would work better, like a Monday. That would be 3
So we have
Mondays
the
in a
13th
row.
and the 20th, so it'd be the 20th.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 Mondays in a row.
I would say that's, we
you
definitely want
guys
to get something scheduled on that one, because that's the first time y'all are
Yeah.
going to see, kind of stuff from the department heads specifically. So
Yeah.
definitely, that's really a critical one, I would say.
And we want to do it individually too.
If we need to move June around and accommodate it May on the last week of May, and then move June's a little bit.
Can you guys do the 20th of May? It's a Monday.
That's probably better for me. It seems to me like the 22nd may be the senior night.
I think you're right, actually, what you told me.
If that's senior night, I'm out because
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing the
Yes.
baccalaureate service.
Yeah.
So,
20th, can you do the 20th?
as far as I know,
Oh, okay. So we got, you're just an overachiever, aren't you? Okay, so we have we would have the 13th as a council meeting, the
Correct.
20th as a budget workshop, and then the 27th as.
Well, it's on the
it would be
28th.
28th.
It'd be the 28th
28th.
is the actual
That'd
meeting.
we already changed it.
Yes, it's already been changed, yes.
So,
So it's really Monday, Tuesday.
yeah. So you guys okay with the 20th then?
As far as I know right now, yes.
Can we go ahead and get a motion for us to go ahead and do this proposed calendar with the amendment of the 20th of May? The last meeting will be on the 11th of July.
No, in May 20.
Oh, in May? It's going to be on
28th,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 28th.
The 28th. Okay. Can I get a motion for us to go ahead and,
I'll make the motion with the change from May 22nd to May 20th.
okay, got a motion for us to accept the calendar as presented with the exception of May the 20th. Do I have a second? Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nothing me.
Oh, you're still looking? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. May the 20th.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it took a long time for that to
Okay.
go out.
Okay.
Yeah, 6:30, right?
Yeah, same
Okay.
times, yeah.
All yeas, we approved, okay? Thank you, council, appreciate that. All right, we're doing really good. Let's go ahead and jump into our department reports as a finance director. Go ahead and take care of that.
You make sure the, Mr. Martinez gets the list.
Yes, I will, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send it out to all of y'all, actually. So with that,
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
for the month of March. We went from 1558 accounts up to 1590, billing of 68,801. We went from 926 sewer accounts to 934 with a billing total of 37,687. Gas accounts, we dropped one. We're down to 345 with a billing total of 38,538. Total utility billings of 145,026. Water impact fees, we are at 24,071 with a fiscal of 156,465. Water tapping fees of 11,000 for the month of March with a fiscal of 42,000. Acquisition fees of 19,800 with a fiscal of 115,198. No gas. Sewer impact fees of 36,532 with a fiscal of 202,592. Sewer tapping fees at 8,250 and a fiscal of 32,250. We have seen a huge increase in homes and these fees coming in the last 2 months. Donations, animal control got $97.50. Library came $175.75. Total city donations of $273.25. The fire department got $984.25 on the donations. Of course, that is redistributed back to them. City sales tax for March came in at $121,431. Remember, that's really a month behind. So really, we're seeing February when I'm booking March. So I expect to see March a little bit higher because of spring break, when March hits for April. Hotel tax for, again, this is February for March, is 5,000. I'm sorry, that was a wrong number, and I forgot to change it. It came out right at 9,000. That was a misprint that I didn't correct. It was like 8,910. Franchise tax for March came in as, we just have 5,295. Remember, we usually get quarterly payments from a lot of our franchise tax, so we won't see a bigger one until the next quarter. And that's only partial. Court fines for March, we came in at 57,325. Fines collected through Purdue, Brandon, and Motts came in at 4,597. We are seeing an increase on the warrant collections with Brandon, Purdue, Motts, with everything that we've sent in. Court update, court is fully online. People are using it. It's booking correctly. Everything looks really good on the GL. We're working on job descriptions for the 2 court clerks, so we can divide the work up a little bit more specific. I can't say it statistically. Thank you. Oh, he's never going to let me live that down tomorrow. And we are prepping for warrant collection day, which I'm not going to tell you when that is, but we will be doing warrants here. Utility billing went really well. The reads are doing everything's going really smooth. We have almost 400 radio read meters out there, which was talking to Robbie and the guys the other day. They're going to try to start putting more in. It just takes a whole load off of them to do that. So he was doing a count on what we have there. And if they can do that, that would save so much time for everybody. We had one bad read. There was out of the 400 that had to be reread. It just works so much better. And the online utility payments are back up and running, and we're having absolutely no problem with those anymore.
Good.
For finance, I did do some interviews. Zach and I both did. We're kind of going through the final of what we're going to do with that. We haven't picked a person yet, but I think we've narrowed it down. We're going to be preparing for the budget stuff, which he just spoke about, and the audit is in progress, and hopefully we will have something by the May 5th or 8th, 13th, May 13th. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. We got Rosario. There you go.
Filling in for Paola for her secretary report.
Okay.
Yeah, she can do that. So I changed it up a little bit from what she had. Applications received, 18 total for March. There was 12 new homes, 2 HVAC, 2 for fence, and 2 concrete slabs. The issued permits were also 18, 12 new homes, 1 parking lot. That parking lot's going to be at HB. 1 slab, 1 carport, 1 patio, 1 demolition, and then the other was the repairs going on at the old Napa building.
Oh, okay.
49 total inspections. There was 8 mechanical, 13 electrical, 15 building, and 13 plumbing.
How's it going with the new contractors?
There's a couple people that are kind of weirded out. They've never done it, but it looks like they like it.
Like it? Good.
Yes. Total certificates are 10, 3 certificates of occupancy. They were new homes. 1 certificate of occupancy by the Fire Marshal Division, and that's for NVU Permanent Cosmetics and Tattoos over at 15101 Main Street. 6 certificates of compliance, and some of those were pools, solar panels, gas line, the demolition, and an addition.
Just so, for clarification, that permanent cosmetics and tattoos, those are cosmetic tattoos. It's not like a, yeah. So this is more with the cosmetic side.
Beauty. Okay, so collection of taxes, permits, beer and wine. There was 22,031.22 cents in ad valorem. The year-to-date total is 928,775 with 81 cents. In permits, we did 11,951 with 10 cents. The year-to-date for that was 80,475 with 58 cents. And then a couple of beer and wine licenses, 475 with 59 cents, and the year-to-date is 864 with 16. And then some news, just some things that Paola attended to, zoning meetings, public hearings, just a couple of events. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rosario. Good job.
All right. Again, this one's just carrying over and with the sidewalks, but all this work is completed for the 1 million CO on that. The water and sewer, so updated in red. I tried to, throughout the whole thing, update where updates was in red for y'all. Most of these jumped about 5% from the last presentation last month. Sewer plant now at 60%, booster pump at 90, elevated storage tank 85, and water main loop currently at 60. And this, of course, is for the month of March. I will say on the elevated and the booster pump, they're actually finalizing all the bid documents associated with that. And Robbie and I will be meeting at the end of the month, I think it is, or at the beginning of May, for going over that so we can get that out to bid for those two items. So they're pretty much wrapped up on those two. Residential developments, the only update here is in phase 6. I think we had a couple more that were completed, still 13 under construction, 1 under review, and then 6 lots that are just still vacant. Nothing submitted on those for those lots.
Okay.
In Saddle Ridge. As far as Rosewood, we're continuing to see a lot of permits get filed for that. So they've completed 10 homes, 14 are currently under construction, and we had in March 18 under review. And the 6 on hold are actually because Rosewood has, or LGI has decided to add stone wainscoting on the fronts of the houses after the mayor and Alderman Emery and myself had a meeting with them not too long ago and really just asked them to look at that. So those new 18 all have it, and the 6 on hold, they're probably going to add it and resubmit on those, but they're trying to finish up some amenity center stuff, and so they want to hold on those. But since then, obviously this month we've actually approved some of those 18, so you'll start to see those getting built out. So nothing on Lino Farms, but just just as an update internally, we've continued to work with Clay Benford on that, and there's been a lot of email exchanges back and forth, and they're trying to come up with a schedule of securing their capacity and what that looks like from the utility side. So we're continue to work with them on that. Contracts, really no huge updates, but we're finalizing the contract with Rise. Obviously, y'all approved that last meeting for the internet providing, and we have officially switched over all facilities on the new phones, and it seems to be working pretty well. One thing we're trying to figure out is making sure we don't show up as like spam when we're calling. So they're working on the global settings on that, but it seems to be working well. We're able to transfer using the new phones, so we're able to transfer around, and it's going pretty good. So little kinks here and there, but we're working through those. So. Yeah.
When are they going to remove the old ones?
So I've removed everybody's except yours because I wanted to make sure it was in the right area.
No. I'm just wondering. So.
You can undate Jim if you want. I can come by, and I did it for everybody around here too. So yeah, you can remove. Probably bring them here.
And we are working on, because ours shows up as an odd number, like out of Marble Falls or something.
Yeah.
And people, are not going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
So
that was something I spoke to Chris literally today about. They should not be doing that, but there's some weird settings in the back.
And will we have caller ID when people are calling up.
Yes, they should.
Some of them show up and some don't.
Yeah.
It's half and half. I see a number and then some names show up, but then it's just a number.
Okay.
So it's half.
Yeah.
Like I said, we haven't got a chance, we gotta work out, I've gotta get with somebody on how to voice, get the voicemail set up.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
And we have a situation like that, the porting, I can tell you from another government agency that I deal with, we went to exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Ours would show up that we were calling from East Texas. It's the weirdest thing, but it's just, but it's,
Yeah.
so it's weird how it shows up, but eventually they get it all
It does correct
programmed
itself,
correctly,
yeah.
they get everything lined up, and you're able to do that.
But generally, it's working pretty well. So
Good.
We're code compliance. Hector was out a good chunk of the month. He was sick and some other stuff, so that's why these numbers are a little low. But we did see an increase, obviously, in overgrown lots with summer kicking in and things like that. We're going to start to see that number keep up. So and he did work some evening times and was trying to got some complaints that people were watering in the evenings and times and more than they shouldn't. So he actually came in and did a shift at night a little bit and got a couple people that way. So, but that's, again, he was out and.
Okay, add on that one,
Yeah.
Zach. So just the council be aware. So we're not out there, picking on people or looking at them. These are cases, I can tell you, that they're watering and they left the water and it's running down the road.
Yeah.
It's very obvious that they're just wasting the water.
Yeah.
So those are these right here. So you have, Hector's not going around and it's like, okay, what's the number, number, you shouldn't be watering. We're still trying to help and monitor, and we try to encourage people, but in the sense of the people that are getting the actual tickets, these are the people that are wasting the water.
And he is currently standardizing. Each of the stages that we were in, had varying fonts, and it looked all funky on some of the pages, and they weren't standardized. So he's actually worked on standardizing that, so that way he can also give that information out to people when he's out and about. So, yeah.
It'll be good.
Just obviously on the left, just the various meetings throughout the month of March that I've been working on. And as indicated, server completed the 8x8 phone system completed in April. The Lakeshore, we're pending that final report, but obviously y'all heard that last meeting on the findings from that report. Discussed the stormwater tonight. Continuing to work with TxDOT, signed a MOU on for the sidewalk project for 2790 down McDonald Street. And we're continuing to work with TRC to make sure that all the work that's completed on the 12-inch line is done before they start work on the sidewalk. Obviously, election is going on, and I'm sure the mayor will mention it in his informational, but early voting started today. So just want to reiterate, it's out there for not just only our gas system sale, but the ISD has their bond issue. So we're encourage everybody. I did put something on the marquee as well, just to kind of get people out there and where we're having it. And we're continuing to work with TRC and got some meetings and a little frustrated with where things stand with the plugging of well 3, but we're moving forward with it and trying to figure some of that out. So I'll have more on that, I'm sure, at a later date. So
Be good.
What's the status of the water connection to the new truck stop? Is it hooked up?
Yes, so we have come to an understanding with TxDOT. I'm waiting on the actual agreement paperwork, but they are basically going to pay for the equivalent of what is out there, which is a 6-inch. Basically, it's 2.3, so equivalent to a 6 is what TRC has come up with, and we will pay the difference out of impact fees to make sure that we are getting a 12 extension across there. So we're trying to finalize that with them. Hopefully, we're saying 20 to 30 days. We should be moving on that. I know that the truck stop people are very anxious and ready to get going, and they got power recently, so they're definitely moving forward pretty quick.
Yeah, I saw they were pouring concrete on most of their parking areas, so
Yes.
they're moving ahead.
Yeah, so hopefully we get some good news here pretty soon and get that. TxDOT, the current contractor that's out there for the 35 project is who they're leaning on to get it done. So they're really trying to push it and move it forward so that during their time frame, they can get that taken care of before they get off site. So,
Help speed up the process.
yeah. And then just finally, the open positions we have. So obviously we have the interviews, don't forget, for Thursday, and I'll be sending that out. I didn't want to confuse y'all, but so I'll send it out here probably later tonight or tomorrow for y'all for the Thursday meetings with 3 candidates, 2 in person and then 1 on Zoom. She's out of town, so she was unable to do it, but she really wanted to interview, so we got her in Zoom. We have the Public Works labor position vacant, and then we are looking at obviously for Robbie as he transitions, hopefully here soon to the actual final, full director position out of interim. He's got 1 class and then he can test. Then obviously his old position of foreman would open up. So we're just keeping on the horizon for y'all to know that'll be something coming up. And I'm looking at job descriptions, making sure we're getting the right person in that, that really can be Robbie's, right-hand man out there on the streets and everything. So, and then the accounting clerk, as Lynette indicated, we had about 11 applications and we've been conducting interviews and hopefully we'll be getting somebody in here sooner rather than later. So, and that's all I got.
All right. I do want to elaborate a little bit
Yeah.
on something Zach
Sure.
was talking about, just for the councils. And we're still waiting for TxDOT, and this is with that 12-inch line. We would like the council just to be aware that there might be some either detours or closures or something on 3175. We requested them to be in the middle of the night because they basically have to, we thought they would bore, but they're not boring. They're actually trenching, putting the 12-inch across the road. So stay tuned as soon as we find out, but there is going to be possible detour / closing
Closures.
in that section right there as they bring the line across.
As soon as we have the details, we'll make sure to get it out in front of our residents and in
Yeah.
front of y'all, obviously, to help communicate that.
So, but I want you to know because they might come out really fast, especially since they were trying to take care of this contract.
Yeah.
And they might get the contractor to do it, and we'll have to figure something out, and we'll send it out. But just so you know, with that. Okay. Great job, Zach.
Problem.
Appreciate it. All right. We're doing really good. Woo, right. At 8 o'clock. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up after this. Is there goodies back there? There's goodies back there. Oh, okay. So we still goodies afterwards. So don't leave. There's still goodies. But before we do that, we'll go around the room.
No, Mayor.
See if we have anything on informational. We're in item 9, informational items. Anything at all, Rosario? Anything? Richie, anything you need to share?
We got the 1 police car, we're still waiting on the other. Should be up and running, the other should be up and running about. Once we get,
It's already everything on there.
yeah, it's just a matter of that Motorola has a good camera programming thing, so, probably next week. maybe-
It's got the lettering and everything.
Oh, yeah,
Fun.
thanks, please.
Nice.
Says cheap one? No, I don't like cheap cars.
Be able to do that. All right. Anything, Cassandra? Sidewalk.
Driveway is ready to give us a brand new driveway. So if they have to close the entrance into our bedside community exit, pull out the exit, then after they're done with that, we can close the exit.
Did they tell you how long it's?
He said the rest of this week will be for the entrance, but he didn't tell me what.
Okay. I think did they stop before the exit? I think they stopped before the exit.
That's what I thought. I thought they was
Yeah. Yeah, I think they stopped before the exit. So I think the other one's not going to get touched. I think it's just going to be that other. And then you got that little dip in the middle too, right? Yeah. So that'll be good.
I know, I heard it, but you don't.
Yeah. All right. You guys have become family. Tell us, who are you? Just so we know, we see each other all the time. You live in Live Oak? Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate that and appreciate your involvement and getting to know what's going on around here. We definitely do that. So you kind of have an idea how it works and how we try to take care of stuff, but you're always welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. All right, here we go, Robbie. Nothing? Molly? Nothing?
I would like to reiterate with the election that's already started today, for selling our gas system and for the school. The school's asked me to publicize it, encourage people, and so I'm taking this opportunity. If you're on social media, if you can just put a post up there, encourage people to go vote. And you can direct them to the school, you can direct them to me, you can direct them to Zach for the gas issue. If you have friends and you tell 2, 3, 4 friends, that'd be great. Traditionally, especially because we don't have any mayor or council members actually needing us to go out and vote, we need people to go out and vote on these 2 issues. And traditionally, it's low turnout for things like this. So we need to encourage as much as possible. Thanks, Zach, for the sign up.
Yep, we definitely need to be able to get that word out there and stuff. And I'll jump ahead and I'll come back. Oh, anything else?
Well, one other thing. Tomorrow, the One Act Play ensemble from Lytle is going to their 4th level regional competition. If they make it through there, they're going to state. It's at Southwest tomorrow. Wednesday. And we are the last school out of 6 to perform. So if you want to go there, unfortunately, they're charging $15 a head to get in to watch this. But you can come and go, watch as many of the plays as you want. And then following our play, the judges will take some time, then they will give feedback to each of the schools, and then they will do the presentation of the individual awards and then the schools that advance. So it's at Southwest on Wednesday. If you want to go, be there about 3:30-ish. Watch a play or 2 from other schools. We're the last one, and then stay for the awards. It's always cool.
Yep.
Yes, tomorrow is Tech Day, where they make sure that they can perform on the stage that they're going to be performing on, that they can operate all the lights and everybody can move to where they need to move. So it's an important day for the kids. They're pumped.
Yep. They had the community one this weekend. I got a chance to go see them. I tell you, it's unreal with these kids. I mean, and the way they perform and everything and the creativity that comes along with it. I mean, it's just unbelievable and stuff. And if there was ever a time, this is a good year for them to go to state. And they got some solid guidance from Miss Nelson and being able to get them. I know there was probably Mrs. Hughes involved a little bit, and honestly, we got to give credit there. Mrs. Hughes and others were there before and kind of planted the seed and showed them what it was all about and got them prepared. So we have a great drama department. I think they're doing really good, and we hope that this year is a solid year. And one of the main, Gigi, she's been getting recognized left and right in different places, so it's pretty good. And I think your son is following a calling too, right?
Gigi, the female lead, has gotten, there are only 2 outstanding actor awards at each of the competitions, and she's won one of those in all 3 competitions so far. Stefan is the male lead. He's the monster, by the way. If you don't know, it's a Monster Calls. He's the monster. He's a big tree that walks around. And he's gotten just right under the top a couple of times. And
it's good.
Warning, if you go, take tissue.
Yep.
You'll need it.
It's a good
cry, I promise.
It's a good play. It's a very good play. But at their level, I tell you, it's better than going downtown San Antonio. I can tell you that. Those kids are performing at that level. So it's worth everything. Anything else?
No.
Thank you so much. Okay, a few thank yous before we go, and I do want to talk a little bit about the voting. But I want to say, first of all, thanks to Lynette and the whole staff. Appreciate you guys taking care of Chris and the family here in the last week. You guys juggled everything that we needed to do with work and at the same time taking care of the family. And that's what it was all about. So just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us for taking care of that. I want to say thanks to Rosario for helping out on getting our community center for voting. I know you came over the weekend and make sure things were lined up and everything. So appreciate all the efforts too, the extra efforts just to make sure that we got started correctly. Okay, so for voting, we got early voting between the 22nd, which is today, all the way to the 30th, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. This coming Saturday, it's 9 to 2. And then we'll have a little break in between there. And then on the 4th of May, that's 7 to 7. So, and all of this is going to happen over at the community center, not only with our proposition, but also with the school district. They do have one position that is up for running, that they have opposition, so there is going to be an election for them out of one of the board members. But the key for us is to be able to get the word out and make sure people are knowledgeable, especially with the bond. The necessities are there, the improvements need to happen, and we need people to be knowledgeable so they have an idea of what we need to do to take care of the school district with that. Zach already said it, interviews on this Thursday, so please mark your calendars at 6:30 to make sure that we can take care of that. And all that is going to be executive session, right? So just so everybody will know.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be covering it.
Perfect. Do want to know the council, we've actually had a few funerals that have happened, people that have passed away. But this week, just to point out some, Ms. Salcedo and Mr. Galmes, we have a few that are happening this week. Mark your calendars. Mr. Galmes, Ms. Salcedo, we were just celebrating 100 years. She's been in the community. She's helped out a lot, so very well known. And then Mr. Galmes, who was actually in the Army, he was a Civil Star Award winner. So that's like the third highest in the sense of the structure of combat and valor that goes along with that. So there's postings out there, there's information. Please go in. Primrose is doing all the stuff, so get informed and know, because there's opportunities to be able to say thanks to the families and pass our condolences too. Reminder, we got the cleanup on the 4th of May. Okay, we should be getting some information from Chris and a few other things. We need to pass the word around. You notice this week, if you drove around, this was bulk pickup week. So sometime this week they'll pick it up, but there'll be some stuff that they won't pick up. And that's the reason that we do these dumpsters. So then you can bring that stuff that Waste Management couldn't pick up, and you can put them in the dumpster and you can still get rid of your stuff. As long as it's not construction material. That's the biggest thing. People making sure that they don't do that. We have a car show on the 4th of May on Main Street. And then for the first time ever, we're going to have wrestling. And on Main Street, outdoor wrestling. So that's going to be quite entertaining, and that's going to be on the 18th of May. I got to give kudos to the folks down there, getting very creative as a way. It's great as they come up with different events and different things coming up in the year as a way. We keep getting more people. Instead of them going north of San Antonio to go entertainment, we're starting to see people from San Antonio coming down and enjoying the evening with us here in Lytle. And that's good for our businesses. It's good for our small businesses to be able to have some sales and take care of that. Want to go ahead and echo, once again, good luck to our one-act play regionals. Softball, baseball, coming up for by-district competitions. I know the girls are playing right now. We'll see what the score is. But we know for sure that they're going. It's who are they playing. If you have a chance tomorrow, go watch the boys, the baseball team. Be out there. They'll be presenting the trophy tomorrow. They're actually the district champs. They actually won the district. So it would be good to be out there and support our boys and girls with their different things. Congratulations to our track on a great season, and best wishes to Calissa. She's actually representing Lytle at the 400-meter run at state. So that she is just unbelievable. I mean, every sport that she plays, you thought that she was really good in basketball, and it seems anything that she touches, she just takes it up to the next level. So congrats to all of them. But the track did a really good job on that one. Okay, we had birthdays coming up. Let's see, Molly on the 1st of May. It's Jesse's. birthdays. So write it down, be able to take care of that. On the 6th of May, we have Ashley, who is celebrating a birthday. But actually, we can't allow this to happen or get by. See, today is the 22nd, right?
Yep.
We're a little bit, go. Let's see. No, don't say that. Oh my goodness, I'm just gonna go over here. We're just gonna light it up over here.
I was gonna say it keeps going out.
Yeah, keeps going out. I think it's the AC right there. As soon as I hit it. So Rosario celebrated her birthday. She had a quinceañera on the 20th. She actually has. So Rosario had a little birthday and can't miss the opportunity to go ahead and as traditionally like we always do. And here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosario. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish for a big grant. Yeah, there we go. Let's take that. Reggie?
Now,
Hey,
Zach will pipe up.
Zach will take it. We got tradition to give out the other zebra cake. Happy birthday, Rosario. Hope you had a great time. Yeah, Molly still took somebody's and it hasn't provided, right? So Frank doesn't know yet. Do that. All right, with that in mind, any last minute information?
What time is the
The early
early voting?
voting, they actually start, hold on.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I have it. We just got to go ahead and look on here. You got it right there. That's what I was looking for. Okay, early voting, let's see, 8 to 5, the 22nd through the 26th of April. And then I think I covered the Saturday. Yeah, the Saturday is going to be 9 to 2. And then, let's see, the 27th and the 30th is 8 to 5. And then, of course, on the actual day is 7 to 7. Check the Lido website. Yep. Lido website, we got it in different places. We got it in social media and everything. But
And that's at the community center.
Community center. It's at the community center. Worked out. All right. Any last minute? Anything else? All right. I have an actual 8:16 p.m. Do I have a motion for us to adjourn?
I'll make that motion there.
Got a motion. Do I have a second? Got a second. In discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All the yeas carry it. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good meeting. Hey, eight